I finally opened my own restaurant after 5 years of saving every penny, working double shifts, sleeping 4 hours a night. I invited my entire family to the grand opening. No one showed up. They went to my sister's birthday party instead. As I stood alone in my empty restaurant at 9 p.m., breaking down the untouched appetizer trays I'd prepared for them, my dad texted. "Before you get mad, we need you to cater her wedding next month. Family discount, of course." My reply made my sister cancel her venue within 48 hours. "My name is Jason Chin, I'm 32 years old, and this is the story of how I learned that your biggest dream can also be your loneliest achievement. I'd wanted to be a chef since I was 8, watching my grandmother make dumplings in her tiny kitchen in San Francisco's Chinatown. She'd let me fold the wrappers, taught me that cooking was about patience and respect for ingredients. When she died, she left me her recipe book and $2,000 with a note. Feed people's souls, not just their stomachs." My parents had different ideas. My dad owned a successful accounting firm. My older sister Victoria was a corporate lawyer. The expectation was clear: business or law, nothing else mattered. When I told them at 18 I wanted to go to culinary school, my dad laughed. "You want to be a cook? Like at McDonald's?" "A chef, Dad. I want to open my own restaurant." "Absolutely not. I'm not paying for you to learn how to flip burgers. You're going to business school." So I went to business school. Hated every second. Failed half my classes the first year because I was sneaking into the culinary building at night, practicing knife skills, reading cookbooks instead of accounting textbooks. My dad threatened to cut me off completely if I didn't get serious. I got serious. About lying to him. I finished my business degree with a 3.2 GPA, just enough to graduate. Then I told my family I got a job at a consulting firm in Portland. What I actually did was move to Portland and start working as a line cook at a mid-level restaurant for $13 an hour. I lived in a studio apartment with 2 roommates, slept on a mattress on the floor, and spent every free hour learning. I worked breakfast shift at one restaurant, dinner shift at another. On my days off, I staged for free at high-end places, learning techniques, building skills, making connections. My family thought I was climbing the corporate ladder. I was actually working 70-hour weeks in hot kitchens for barely minimum wage, and I'd never been happier. Victoria got married when I was 24. Big wedding, 200 guests, at a vineyard in Napa. I told my family I couldn't get time off work. Truth was, I couldn't afford the plane ticket, and I had 2 shifts I couldn't miss. My dad was furious. "Your sister's wedding is once in a lifetime and you're choosing work? You always told me work comes first," I said. He didn't speak to me for 3 months. I worked my way up. Line cook to sous chef to head chef at a small bistro by the time I was 28. That's when I started seriously saving for my own place. Every paycheck, I put away 30%. I ate ramen, wore the same 3 shirts, didn't date because I couldn't afford to take anyone anywhere nice. My family still thought I worked in consulting. The lie had gotten so big I couldn't figure out how to tell the truth without admitting I'd been lying for a decade. Then my grandmother's recipe book gave me an idea. Modern Asian fusion, her traditional recipes reimagined with French techniques I'd learned. I could see it perfectly: intimate space, 25 seats, tasting menu format, personal and elevated. I found a location in Portland's up-and-coming Alberta district. Small, rough, but cheap rent and good foot traffic. The landlord wanted first and last month plus security deposit. I was $5,000 short. I called my dad. First time I'd asked him for money since college. "I need to borrow $5,000. "For what?" I almost told him the truth. Almost. "Investment opportunity. Through work. It's time sensitive." He wired me the money the next day. Told me he was proud I was finally taking initiative in my career. The guilt nearly killed me, but I signed the lease. Renovating that space took everything I had. I did most of the work myself, painting at midnight after my shifts, installing equipment on Sundays, building tables from reclaimed wood. My friends from the restaurant industry helped when they could. It took 8 months and drained my savings completely. I named it Maze, after my grandmother. Simple storefront, white walls, Open kitchen so guests could watch us cook. 15 tables, intimate and warm. Everything I dreamed about. The inspection process was a nightmare. Failed twice for minor code violations I couldn't afford to fix properly. Had to take out a small business loan just to get the ventilation system up to standards. By the time I passed, I was $30,000 in debt and running on fumes. But I did it. I had a restaurant. Opening date, November 15th, 2024. I'd been planning it for 3 months. Hired a small staff, 3 people I'd worked with before who believed in the concept. Designed a special opening night menu. Sent invitations to food bloggers, local media, friends from the industry. And my family. For the first time in 10 years, I told them the truth. The text went to the family group chat on November 1st. I have something to tell you. I haven't been working in consulting. For the past 10 years, I've been a chef. I just opened my own restaurant in Portland. Grand opening is November 15th at 6 p.m. I know I lied, and I'm sorry, but I'd really love for you to be there. It would mean everything to me. The responses came fast. Victoria, you what? You've been lying this whole time? Dad, is this a joke? Mom, Marcus, we need to talk about this. My younger brother Leo. Wait, you're a chef? That's actually cool. I called my dad that night. He was furious. 10 years, Marcus. 10 years you've been lying to us. Do you have any idea how embarrassing this is? I'm sorry, Dad. I just wanted to. You wanted to what? Throw away your education? Your potential? I gave you every advantage and you became a cook? A chef. I own my own restaurant. How much debt are you in? I hesitated. That's not. How much? $30,000. He laughed bitterly. $30,000 to play restaurant in Portland. Unbelievable. Your sister makes that in 3 months. This isn't about money. Everything is about money, Marcus. You'll learn that when this little dream falls apart and you're filing for bankruptcy at 35. Will you come to the opening? Silence. Then, I'll think about it. He hung up. My mom called the next day, softer but equally disappointed. Why didn't you tell us, honey? We could have helped you. Would you have? Or would you have tried to talk me out of it? She didn't answer. Victoria sent a long text about trust and family, and how hurt she was that I'd lied. Fair points, all of them. I apologized again, explained why I'd done it, invited her to opening night. I'll try to make it, she said. But I'm really busy with work. Leo was the only one who seemed genuinely excited. Dude, this is badass. I'm definitely coming. Can I bring my girlfriend? Of course. As November 15th approached, I sent reminders. Posted about it on social media. The family group chat went quiet whenever I mentioned it. No one confirmed if they were coming. 3 days before opening, Victoria posted in the family chat. So my birthday is November 16th, and I want to do a big dinner on the 15th instead since it's a Friday. Who's in? My stomach dropped. Mom. Oh, that sounds lovely. Where? Victoria. That new steakhouse downtown. 7 p.m. reservation for 8 people. Dad. We'll be there. I stared at my phone. My opening started at 6. Her dinner was at 7. An hour away. They'd have to choose. I typed and deleted 5 messages before settling on. My opening is at 6 on the 15th. Just FYI. Victoria. Right, I saw that. This was the only night everyone could do for my birthday, though. I'm sure you understand. I understood perfectly. Leo messaged me privately. Dude, that's messed up. I'm still coming to yours. Thanks, Leo. Opening night arrived. I got to Maze at 2 p.m., started prep with my team. The menu was perfect. Grandmother's dumplings with black vinegar caviar, miso glazed short rib, tea smoked duck, finished with sesame panna cotta. Food that honored her memory while showing everything I'd learned. By 5:30, I was in clean chef whites, standing in my restaurant, watching my staff do final checks. We had 40 reservations. The food media confirmed. Leo confirmed. A few friends from the industry confirmed. 6 p.m. came. The first guests arrived. A couple who'd seen our Instagram, excited and kind. Then 2 food bloggers. A table of 4 regulars from my old restaurant who'd followed me here. No family. 6:30. The dining room filled up nicely. 22 people, all strangers or industry friends. I kept checking my phone. Nothing from my parents. Nothing from Victoria. 7 p.m. Leo texted. Running late, caught in traffic, be there by 7:30. At 7:15, my dad texted the family group chat with a photo of them all at Victoria's dinner. My parents, Victoria and her husband, my aunt and uncle, even my cousins. Everyone dressed up, smiling, raising glasses. Dad's message. Happy birthday to our amazing daughter. I was in the kitchen plating orders when I saw it. My hands started shaking so hard I had to step outside. I stood in the alley behind Maze, staring at that family photo, and something inside me cracked. Not broke, cracked. Like ice on a frozen lake starting to splinter. My sous chef Maya found me 10 minutes later. Chef, you okay? We need you on Expo. Yeah, I said. I'm good. I wasn't. But I went back inside and finished service. Every plate that went out was perfect because that's what you do. You put your shit aside and you cook. Leo showed up at 8:30, apologetic. Dude, I'm so sorry. Traffic was insane. I cooked for him personally. Every course. He was amazed, complimentary, present. It helped a little. By 9:30, the last guests were leaving. Good reviews, great energy, successful first night by any measure. My staff was celebrating. I was in the office looking at numbers. 40 covers, but I'd spent $3,000 on opening prep. The wine I'd bought for my family sat unopened. My phone buzzed. Dad in the family group chat. Before you get mad, we need to talk about Victoria's wedding. She wants it catered and we thought it would be perfect to support your new business. You'd give us family discount, of course. Let me know your prices. I read it 3 times. They didn't come to my opening. And now they wanted me to work Victoria's wedding for cheap. Leo called. Did you see Dad's text? Yeah. That's insane, right? It's fine. It's not fine, Marcus. I sat in that office until midnight. Looked at what catering would cost. 200 guests, high-end dinner, $15,000 minimum in food costs alone, plus staff, rentals, my time. I could barely afford my loan payment, and they wanted family discount. I went home at 1 a.m. Couldn't sleep. At 3, I drafted a response about my actual rates. Didn't send it. Next morning, messages flooded in. Mom. Marcus, we're waiting to hear about the wedding catering. Victoria. I need numbers ASAP. I typed. I need more details before I can quote. Guest count, menu preferences, venue location. Victoria responded. Can't meet this week, crazy busy. Just give me a ballpark. Dad said you'd do it cheap since we're family. I called Dad. He answered annoyed. Marcus, I'm in a meeting. You told Victoria I'd cater her wedding cheap? Family supports family. This is great exposure for you. Dad, catering costs tens of thousands in food alone. So we'll pay for food. You donate your time. Fair? I laughed. Donate my time. For a 3-week project requiring extra staff and equipment? Don't be dramatic. I'm not. Marcus, your sister has been nothing but supportive of your little restaurant venture. She skipped my opening for her birthday dinner. That was already planned. You can't expect everyone to rearrange their lives. You rearranged your entire evening for her. It's different. How? Because Victoria's career actually matters. She's a lawyer at a major firm. You're cooking dumplings in Portland. There it was. Right. I said quietly. Got it. Her wedding is important. Important clients will be there. If you do a good job, you could get real business. And if I say no? Why would you say no? She's your sister. I hung up. That day was supplier issues, interviewing cooks, prepping for service. By evening rush, I'd push family drama aside. Until Victoria called at 9 p.m. during dinner service. 3 times. At 10 I called back. What? Wow, rude. I'm calling about my wedding. I'm in the middle of service. It's 10 p.m. That's how restaurants work. What do you need? Dad said you're being difficult about catering. I asked for details so I could quote accurately. He said you want to charge us like strangers. I want to charge what it costs. But we're family. You didn't come to my opening. Silence. Are you seriously holding that against me? It was my birthday. Your birthday is November 16th. You moved dinner to the 15th specifically. The restaurant had better availability Friday. You chose that night knowing it was my opening. You know what? Forget I asked? I have other caterers who'd be grateful. She hung up. I stood there feeling nothing. Not anger, not sadness. Just empty calm. Back inside, Maya was handling Expo perfectly. Service was clean. This was real. The restaurant, the team. That was real. My family's support? Never was. I sent a message to the family chat. I won't be catering Victoria's wedding. I'm sure she'll find someone great. The responses came fast. Dad, you're being incredibly selfish. Mom, Marcus, please reconsider. This is your sister's special day. Victoria. Unbelievable. This is exactly why we didn't think your restaurant would work. You're not professional. Leo. Good for you, man. I muted the chat and went to sleep. The next week was brutal. Family wasn't speaking to me. Meanwhile, restaurant was struggling. Tuesday, 12 covers. Wednesday, 18. Thursday, 21. We needed 40 to break even. The food blogger posted 3.5 stars. Ambitious but inconsistent. It stung because she was right. Friday, short-staffed, I worked the line myself. We got slammed with 35 covers. I burned 3 orders. A guest complained her duck was overcooked. She was right. I comped her meal, apologized, and went home feeling like a failure. Week 2 of being open and I was drowning. Saturday, email from a wedding planner. Victoria Chin gave me your name but said you were booked. Do you have availability for spring events? Victoria was telling people I was too busy. Saving face. I replied with my rates. The planner never responded. By end of week 2, I'd lost $4,000. My loan payment was due in 10 days and I wasn't sure I could make it. Week 3 almost destroyed Maze before it had a chance to succeed. Monday started with my dishwasher quitting via text at 6 a.m. Found better pay elsewhere, sorry. I spent the lunch shift washing dishes myself while trying to prep for dinner. My hands were raw by 2 p.m. Tuesday, the health inspector showed up unannounced. Found a minor violation, some condensation in the walk-in cooler that technically violated temperature consistency standards. Gave me 72 hours to fix it or face a fine. The repair cost $800 I didn't have. Wednesday, I got a call from my landlord. The tenant above Maze had a pipe burst. Water was leaking into my storage room. I spent 4 hours moving supplies, cleaning up water damage, arguing with the building manager about who was responsible for repairs. Thursday, Maya pulled me aside before service. Chef, we need to talk about the menu. What about it? It's too complicated. We're a 3-person kitchen trying to execute a 15-dish tasting menu. Something's gotta give or we're going to keep making mistakes. She was right. We'd had quality issues all week. Inconsistent plating, timing problems, 1 dish sent back because the fish was undercooked. What do you suggest? Cut it down. 8 dishes, maximum. Perfect those, then expand later. It felt like giving up. Like admitting my vision was too ambitious. But I also knew she was right. Okay. New menu starting next week. Friday night, Leo came in for dinner and brought someone with him. A woman in her 30s, professional looking, confident. Marcus, this is Sophie. She's a food writer for Portland Monthly. My stomach dropped. Portland Monthly was the biggest food publication in the city. A good review could make us. A bad review could end us. I didn't know you were bringing press. I said quietly to Leo. She asked to come? I may have mentioned you during a meeting. She's a client. Sophie smiled. I hope that's okay. Your brother speaks very highly of your food. Of course. Welcome to Maze. I went back to the kitchen in full panic mode. This was it. The review that would define us. And we were running a menu I knew was too complicated with a 3-person team that was already stretched thin. Maya, we have Portland Monthly in the dining room. Her eyes went wide. Tonight? Now? Yeah. Okay. Okay, we can do this. Everyone, listen up. We have press. Every plate has to be perfect. We're doing this. For 2 hours, we worked like we'd never worked before. Every dish that went to Sophie's table was flawless. Precise plating, perfect temperatures, balanced flavors. I tasted everything twice. She ordered the full tasting menu. 15 courses. I watched from the kitchen as she took notes after every dish, photographed some plates, talked with her dining companion. When she left, she stopped by the kitchen window. Chef, that was remarkable. Really special. Thank you. I didn't sleep that night. Just kept replaying every dish, wondering what she'd write, hoping we'd done enough. The review came out the following Tuesday. I saw it at 5 a.m. when I couldn't sleep and was scrolling my phone. The headline: May's ambitious vision hampered by execution issues. 3 stars out of 5. I read the whole thing. She praised the concept, loved some dishes, particularly the dumplings and the panna cotta. But she also called out the inconsistency, said the menu was overly ambitious for the current kitchen capacity, and noted that, while Chef Chen clearly has talent, the restaurant feels like it's trying to do too much too soon. It wasn't a bad review. It wasn't a great review. It was honest. And it hurt worse than a bad review would have because she was right about everything. I sat in my apartment at 5:30 a.m., reading and rereading those words. Overly ambitious. Trying to do too much. My phone rang. Dad. I saw the review, he said. No hello, no preamble. Yeah. 3 stars. That's not very good, is it? It's okay for a new restaurant. Marcus, when are you going to admit this isn't working? You've been open a month and you're already getting mediocre reviews. You're losing money. Just close it down before you lose more. I'm not closing. Why are you being stubborn? This is exactly what I was afraid of. You have no business experience, no real plan, just passion. And passion doesn't pay bills. I have a business degree. I have 10 years of kitchen experience. I have a plan. Then why are you failing? The word hit me like a physical blow. Failing. I'm 1 month in, Dad. Restaurants take time. Most restaurants fail in the first year. You know that, right? And you're already behind. Is there a reason you called? Or did you just want to tell me I'm failing? I'm trying to help you see reality. You can still salvage this. Sell the equipment, break the lease, come work for me. I'll give you a position in the firm. Good salary, benefits, respect. I don't want to work for you. Because you're too proud to admit you were wrong. I hung up. Sat there shaking with anger and frustration and the horrible feeling that maybe he was right. I went to Maze at 6 a.m. and started prepping the new simplified menu. 8 courses instead of 15. The dishes I knew we could execute perfectly every single time. It felt like defeat and relief in equal measure. By mid-December, we'd stabilized somewhat. The simplified menu worked. Fewer mistakes, better consistency, faster service. Our covers increased slowly. 35 a night, then 40, then 45. But it still wasn't enough. My loan payment was overdue. I'd burned through my emergency savings covering the dishwasher replacement and the cooler repair. I was paying my staff on time but barely paying myself. I lost 15 pounds in 6 weeks. Wasn't sleeping more than 4 hours a night. Developed a stress rash on my hands from washing dishes when we were short-staffed. Maya found me in the walk-in one afternoon, just sitting on an empty milk crate, staring at inventory. Chef, you okay? I don't know if we're going to make it, I said. The first time I'd admitted it out loud. The restaurant? Any of it. The restaurant, my relationship with my family, my sanity. She sat down on a case of wine. You know what my first head chef told me? He said the restaurant industry is designed to break you. It takes everything you have and asks for more. The only people who survive are the ones too stubborn to quit. What if being stubborn isn't enough? Then you figure out what else you've got. I looked at her. Why are you still here? You could work anywhere. Because I believe in what we're doing. And because you're a good chef who's having a hard time, not a bad chef who's failing. There's a difference. That night, Leo texted me. Family Christmas is at Mom and Dad's on the 23rd. You coming? I hadn't been invited officially. This was Leo asking, not them. I don't think so. Come on, man. It's Christmas. They're still mad about the wedding thing, but they'll get over it. Did they ask you to invite me? Long pause. Then, no. But I'm asking. I want you there. I thought about it. Thought about sitting at that table with parents who thought I was failing, a sister who'd deliberately chosen to miss my opening, relatives who'd lecture me about poor life choices. I'll think about it. On December 20th, Victoria got engaged. Posted it all over social media. Big ring, tropical proposal. Her fiancé looked thrilled. The comments were full of congratulations. Mom commented, "So proud of you both. Can't wait to plan this wedding." No mention of the catering drama. No acknowledgement that she'd asked me and I'd said no. Just moving forward like it never happened. I sent her a text. "Congratulations on your engagement." She replied 3 hours later. "Thanks." That was it. One word. I decided not to go to Christmas. Told Leo on the 22nd. He was disappointed but understood. On Christmas Eve I worked. We were open, surprisingly busy with people who didn't want to cook. I spent the evening plating duck and short rib for strangers while my family celebrated without me. At midnight, Maya and the team left. I stayed behind, doing inventory, cleaning, avoiding going home to my empty apartment. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "Hi Marcus, this is Sophie from Portland Monthly. I wanted to reach out personally. I know my review was mixed, but I genuinely think you have something special at Maze. I'm doing a feature on Portland's most promising new restaurants for our March issue, and I'd like to include you. Interested?" I read it 3 times. A feature. In March. The kind of exposure that could actually turn things around. I replied, "Yes, absolutely. Thank you." She sent back, "Great. I'll be in touch in January. Also, for what it's worth, I came back last week and the new menu is significantly better. Keep going." I sat in my empty restaurant on Christmas Eve, staring at that message, and for the first time in weeks, I felt something that wasn't despair. Maybe I was failing. Maybe my family was right that this was too hard. But someone who mattered, someone who knew food and restaurants and what it took to succeed, thought I had something worth featuring. That had to count for something. January started with a broken freezer and ended with me seriously considering closing Maze. The freezer died on January 3rd. Everything inside ruined. $2,000 worth of ingredients gone. The replacement cost $4,000 I didn't have. I took out another loan just to stay operational. We were averaging 42 covers a night. Break even was 45. I was bleeding $300 a week, credit cards maxed. Maya started looking for other jobs. I saw her taking calls in the alley, dressed nicer on days off. I couldn't blame her. I couldn't guarantee February payroll. On January 15th, Leo visited during prep. "You look terrible," he said. "Thanks. When's the last time you slept?" "I'm fine." "You're not. I can loan you money." "No." "Why not?" "I'm not taking money from family anymore." He left looking worried. That night, 28 covers. Worst night yet. I closed up alone. At this rate, 6 weeks before I'd have to close. My phone rang. Unknown number. "Is this Marcus Chin?" "Yes?" "David Park from Park Restaurant Group. I was at your opening. I want to talk about a potential opportunity. Free tomorrow afternoon?" Park Restaurant Group owned 5 successful restaurants in Portland. David Park was local food royalty. We met at a coffee shop. David was direct. "Maze is struggling. But you have something special. I want to invest. $50,000 for 30% equity. You keep creative control, I provide guidance and my network." 50,000. It would solve everything. What's the catch? No catch. But I need an answer by Friday. I should have said yes immediately. Instead, I need to think about it. Everyone I talked to said take the money. Maya, Leo, old mentors. But giving up 30% felt like admitting I couldn't do it alone. Like proving Dad right. Thursday night, Victoria walked in. First time since before opening. We need to talk, she said. I'm working. This won't take long. She sat at the bar. I'm getting married in June. Different caterer, everything's fine. But Mom wanted me to talk to you. About what? About how you're ruining family events. How you embarrassed us. How you need to apologize. I need to apologize? For making my wedding planning stressful. For causing drama. Victoria, you skipped my opening for your birthday. It was a scheduling conflict. It was a choice. I have a career, Marcus. I can't drop everything because you decided to play chef. Play chef. I put down my knife. I've been a chef for 10 years. I own a restaurant. You're barely surviving. Leo told me about David Park's offer. Take it. Otherwise you'll close by spring and Dad will have been right. Get out. Excuse me? Get out of my restaurant. You don't get to tell me I'm failing. Everything you have, Dad handed you. I built this from nothing. And look where that got you. Broke and bitter. I'd rather be broke doing what I love than rich doing what Dad wants. Get out. She left. Friday morning I called David. I appreciate the offer, but I'm passing. Can I ask why? Because if I take your money and succeed, I'll never know if it was me or you. I need to know I can do this. That's pride, not business sense. Maybe. But it's my choice. Good luck. You'll need it. He was right. February was brutal. 35 covers a night. Couldn't make payroll. Let go a line cook. Stopped paying myself. Lived on staff meal. Late February, 1,000 in the bank, 3,000 in bills. 2 weeks from closing. Sophie's feature came out March 1st. Called Maze. Portland's hidden gem, a restaurant worth saving. We got slammed that weekend. 80 covers Saturday, 70 Sunday. First wait list ever. But too late. Couldn't pay suppliers. Couldn't make loan payments. March 10th, I sat alone looking at numbers that didn't work. I was closing. 4 months. I called Leo. Told him. What if I invest? He said immediately. Leo, no. Why not? I believe in you. I can't pay you back. I don't care. I care about you. That broke me. Someone in my family actually believed. How much can you invest? 20,000. My savings. 20,000 wouldn't save Maze. But it would buy time. Okay. But legal papers, real terms, proper equity. Deal. Leo's investment kept us alive through March. The feature brought steady business. 50 covers a night. Not thriving, but surviving. May, we stabilized. Breaking even. Hired back staff. Slept 5 hours instead of 3. Victoria's wedding happened in June. I didn't go. Sent a card. My parents stopped speaking to me after I took Leo's money instead of David's offer. August, 10 months after opening, first profitable month. $47 profit. I framed the statement. September, consistently profitable. Small margins growing. Paid Leo his first dividend. Started paying myself actual salary. The industry didn't break me. But it came close. Here's what nobody tells you. Sometimes your dream works, but not how you imagined. Sometimes you survive instead of thrive. Sometimes the people you thought would support you don't show up, and the people you least expect become your foundation. My family still doesn't understand. Victoria married without me. My parents haven't visited Maze once. But Leo comes every week. Brings friends, dates, clients. Sits at the bar and tells everyone his brother's a chef. That's family. Not blood, but the people who show up. Maze is still open. Still small, still struggling sometimes, but mine. Built from broken dreams and stubborn pride and one brother who believed. I wouldn't change a thing. Well, maybe I'd buy a better freezer.